That the movie is based on a series. You saw the series first, maybe because you were fans, or because you have to see the scenes as a reference for the development of your characters. And the second question is, I know that you used stunts in a few of the scenes, but there was a situation that you felt.
Okay. I chose not to see it actually because I didn't really want to have any idea of the female characters in the show. I just wanted to create something completely modern and contemporary and new. I don't know what you guys could do.
Yeah, I mean, well, Charlotte, you were.
Well, I was a huge fan of the show. I know Quentin was as well. So it was my favorite show as a kid. I actually had an 18 gang in school when I was 12 years old, and another gang formed in the same class. We had to go down to the field and fight because there could only be one 18 gang. We actually won, which I was quite proud of.
Who were you?
I was actually Hannibal. And I needed to, I had this little dilemma in my 11-year-old mind of like, if I was Murdoch, who was my favorite, because I love the voices and all of that stuff.
What did you do for the cigar? Like a crayon?
No, I didn't actually have, I didn't have a crayon. But I knew that if I was Murdoch, I couldn't start the gang. And I had this little dilemma of realizing that to be the boss of the gang, to tell the gang what to do, I needed to be Hannibal.
Right.
Can't help it.
Did you wear the gloves?
No, but I fought Murdoch as Hannibal and knocked him over. I just remember that actually, that's crazy.
And the second question?
I was, did we get hurt or were we scared? Which one was it? Both. Yeah, I'd say both. I didn't get injured, but yeah, that happened. And then, I was scared. There was the scariest thing for me was there was this one stunt where I was underneath a semi-truck with a little roller skate, little makeshift roller skate, going like 40 miles an hour down a dirt road. And I remember thinking that the pebble just sort of hit the back of my head. That wouldn't be good. So yeah, that was pretty scary. Were you scared when you did the building thing?
No, I was most scared when we had to get that water today. Yeah.
Oh, that was awful.
That was awful. I wanted to quit it. That was scary.
You want to tell about we did the scene where we were all in the water. We shot the whole thing in Vancouver and out the outskirts of Vancouver. It was how cold was it?
It was. I mean, the water was close to freezing. Yeah, it was snowing. It was snow in the mountains. They gave us wetsuits. They had like jacuzzis on standby and the whole thing. But it was absolutely freezing. It was my one moment where I tried to, because I grew up on the water, like doing water sports, where I tried to act tougher than Rampage. I was like, I can take the water inside, I'm dying, but I refused to be the first one out of the water. I'm sitting there like absolutely dying.
It was, all they had to tell me about it, you know what I'm saying? This is, if there's ever been a dream role for me, this is it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to watch Big Rockets and T, you know what I'm saying, as a kid, and when I first started venturing out and acting, you know, I was just doing little small films here and there, and the agent that was the one to represent me, he asked me, like, what type of movies would you want to do? And they had just made, like, one of those remakes for Dukes of Hazzard. I said, you know what, they make the 18 movie, I want to play Big Rockets, and it came around, so, you know, I was really thrilled that I could even, you know, be a part of this project.
And what do you do on your free time?
I play video games, you know, and play with my kids. That's all I can do on my free time.
Yeah, Joe Carnahan was attached to the script, and you know, it's all about script and then filmmaker, and that was the case with this one. And Liam Neeson was attached already, so that made it a no-brainer. And then, you know, I just really fought hard to get it, tried to convince Joe Carnahan that I was the right guy in the face, and then lucky enough that all of us got together to be a part of it. Free time. Oh, Billy, what do I do in my free time? I eat a lot of food.
What Brad was saying about a story that's compelling, that is intriguing in some way, and maybe a character that, you know, is absolutely nothing like myself is what I'm usually quite interested in. And free time, play with my dogs, hang out with my friends, eat. That's it. Pretty simple.
Yeah, and also the band.
there is that.
The van, and also the basic plot line that you have these people, these guys wrongly accused that have to clear their name and on the run, and while they're doing it, sort of becomes sort of Robin Hood within the United States.
Yeah.
That sort of basic plot line that carries through the movie, the band, the guys, and Carissa Sosa.
Iconic characters in TV history, and as soon as I had the chance, I was actually still doing District 9's publicity tour, and I shot a series of scenes in my hotel room that I called things that could happen to Murdoch in a hotel room. And I just improvised with various things, you know, that happened in the room, and like BA would be next door playing music, or, you know, various just props that I had in the room, and I edited that together and sent it to Joe Conahan, and that's how I ended up getting the role. I didn't really have to consider much, it just came very naturally to me. I'd grown up doing voices, and that character had, as I was saying earlier, a very big influence on me. So it was kind of just an ideal role for me. My most interesting free time thing, I think, on the A-Team was I actually had a lemur, one of those little animals, come to my trailer. There was like an animal, a guy who rescues and saves animals, and he came to the trailer and brought his little lemur guy to visit. So my trailer was a zoo for a day. Different cast members came around to feed the lemur and have him climb all over you, which is kind of fun.
The whole thing is if we had any sort of half of an impact the TV show had. I don't know, it seems that it's true. There's so many iconic characters that have come out of the 80s, like Magníficos, and I mean, maybe that's the reason, the love boat.
Yeah, I think it's like the 80s though as well. Television wasn't so saturated, I don't know, to me.
Yeah, there were also 3 stations.
Yeah, so a TV show was still a big event, you know, you watched it and you waited for a certain day to watch Night Rider.
That's true.
You couldn't TiVo it, you couldn't, it wasn't like you could just get it on DVD. When that show happened, it was like you'd all gather around, you'd be waiting for the next week.
And also in terms of the numbers of people that would watch the show.
Yeah.
If any show got half the numbers that the A-Team got, I mean, how many thousands of people? You know,
they had like 40 million viewers.
Yeah, 40 million viewers. I mean, American Idol. I mean,
it's crazy. Yeah.
Okay, siguiente pregunta.
That's really for me what was at the heart of it, what I loved as a fan of the show, and I think all of us have tried to bring, you know, taken some inspiration. Certainly for me, I took a massive amount of inspiration from the original Murdoch, and tried to do a slightly kind of obviously updated version of Murdoch, but definitely.
Considerando que la película está basada en que todo sucede de acuerdo a los planes que se ejecuten, ¿qué tanto ustedes se apegan a sus respectivos planes cada uno?
Yeah. Well, we're all signed on, I think, to do a second one if this one, if Fox deems it worthy. It all depends on how many people see the movie. So there's a chance that there'll be another one.
Before I was an actor, I used to have companies. I always had a plan. I always had a goal and a plan that I was following. Different companies and those things is you sort of can't really make anything happen. You know, you kind of, I always felt like I needed a plan, but inevitably something changes and something comes along and you need to adapt your plans. So I've tried to, over the years of my own life, like learn to sort of have a goal but be open, not overly persistent at times, where I tended to sort of dig my heels in and keep going when maybe you should listen a bit.
Anyone else? I pretty much agree with that.